Parents ask, why should I choose martial arts over soccer or piano? The truth is, martial arts builds confidence, focus, and discipline in ways no other activity can. Let me break it down simply so you can see why this works for kids of every personality. We'll cover safety, confidence, discipline, and community support. So the first reason why martial arts might be a better choice than other activities such as soccer or baseball or basketball is for safety. And specifically here at KOMA Martial Arts, all of our staff are certified. They are not parents that just volunteer to coach or maybe an umpire who's just doing something on the weekend to make extra money. They're all certified. And trust me, our certification process is in depth, specifically with keeping our students safe. So that's one thing that you can really rely on. Second, our instructors are trained to have what we call an eagle eye. That means during class, they should be able to see every single student in the group at all times, hence the eagle eye. So rest assured, your child will be in good hands because our staff is trained to make sure that they're always keeping an eye on them. Also at KOMA Martial Arts, we hardly have any type of contact between students, especially with our beginner students. You can't really say that with soccer because you never know when another player is going to slide tackle your child, or they might be running and maybe they roll their ankle on a hole in the ground. Whatever it may be, it's very unpredictable. So here at KOMA Martial Arts, it's more about the individual and helping them get that physical activity in a more individual way. And we really focus more on the art rather than the contact that you see in martial arts. And it looks like sparring or boxing or kicking each other, or maybe even wrestling too. We do that later on, but once your child just starts with us in the beginning, they're not going to see any of that. So you can feel very safe in that way. Also, the mats that I'm standing on now are built and designed for safety. They are soft and they are supposed to help absorb the impact when a child or student falls down. Unlike maybe a basketball floor, if you fall and you hit your head, then you might get a concussion. Here at KOMA Martial Arts, it's more about safety and specifically in the mats that we use. Last but not least, you don't see a lot of clutter here. Actually, you don't see any clutter here. And why do I even bring this up? Because clutter can be unsafe. When you have a lot of clutter and you're having to dodge it or run through different parts of clutter, guess what happens? You can trip. I do this all the time in my basement with my kids' toys. You will definitely not see any clutter here at KOMA Martial Arts, so rest assured there. Another reason why you might consider KOMA Martial Arts instead of soccer or the other activities that are out there is specifically for the benefits of gaining focus and discipline for your child. That's why we exist. We take in all different types of children and we help them balance out, specifically with their focus and their discipline. Especially today with all the devices that are being used, the attention span that children have today, and even adults, are shrinking every minute. So this is something that we're always focusing on specifically is, can we first help your child stand still for 10 seconds? Can we help them have eye contact with the instructor, the teacher, the coach, the parent, the adult for more than 2 seconds? This actually is so important with finding success later in life. If you don't have focus and you don't have discipline, you're gonna struggle. So if your child is a student here at KOMA Martial Arts, they're gonna improve their focus and they're gonna improve their discipline. And another reason why you should consider having your child in something like KOMA Martial Arts compared to the other activities is the supportive community. When you have a culture like KOMA Martial Arts, you have people who are all in it to help each other, to support each other, to lead by example. I can tell you right now, our staff, our team, our instructors are all trained to lead by example. For me personally, I cannot tell a student or a child to do something and then I don't even do it. The grand overarching thing that we always should remember is the power of having a supportive community around us. And this actually brings up a memory of when right behind me we'll have students who will be testing for the black belt. and they have to do a jump side kick over other kids who are crouching down. I know it sounds scary, but every single time we have a test, there's at least one student who struggles with this. And guess what happens during this moment? The entire audience starts clapping for this person and supporting them. And then guess what happens? They always end up breaking their board because that student is now being supported by the community and not just by themselves or just by their parents. So it does take a community. It takes a village to raise a child, and why not have your child part of a supportive community? I'll never forget a student named Valerie. So when she first started, I think she was around 8 or 9 years old, she would not talk to me. And this actually lasted for 2 years. She would not talk to me. She was extremely shy, very introverted, but also very driven. Every single time she would get up to, for example, break a board, she would go and run to her parents and cry. Every single time. But guess what happened? Her parents and their commitment helped their daughter overcome that obstacle. Every time she would come in to class, she would make a tiny little improvement and a tiny little measurement of growth in herself. She got a little bit more confident every single time she came to class. Years went by, and first she joined our competition team and she started competing first at the state level, and then she ended up competing in Las Vegas at the national and then international level. Keep in mind, this young lady couldn't even talk to me, and now she's standing up in front of hundreds, if not thousands of spectators performing in front of them. She also became one of our best instructors during high school, and then now today she is the manager at our Olathe location. Talk about a success story. And it all started with her parents choosing KOMA martial arts to help her break out of her shell, find her confidence, get a little bit more focus, discipline, and ultimately build that courage so she can conquer life. So whether your child is very shy or very energetic, we are here to help. We get all types of students, and I promise you, regardless of what your child is dealing with or battling right now, we can help. We've been there. We've helped thousands of students over the almost 20 years of being in business. I promise you, you will not regret it. Join our official Parents Facebook community where we share weekly guidance and proven tools.